Welcome to Season 2 of Trap Talk.
Brought to you by Craigoff.
Welcome to another episode of Trap Talk. I'm your host, Zach Nannini. I've got my co-host here, Richard Marshall Jr. We just got done with the first 100 singles at the Silver Dollar Southern Grand in 2024, and we're here at the Lunsford residence with Mr. Tank Lunsford.
Mr. Tank Lunsford.
The man, the myth, the legend.
You okay today, Zach?
Yeah,
Zach's being very respectful. Zach broke 100.
Yeah.
Tank broke the first 100. I happened to miss one. So
It's very rare that we get on top of him, but hey.
It happens.
You've seen it here live. So Rick,
Here we go.
You've known Tank your whole life.
Oh, yeah.
Why don't you introduce our guest?
So I've known Tank, since probably after the first few years I started
It's
shooting.
about 1980.
Yeah, Tank's a 17-time All-American. He's a 30-plus time state team member in Indiana.
Yeah.
He's made the open team, men's open, sub-vet, now vet team. This is your second year in vet, right?
Yep.
But Tank and I used to shoot a lot together. All the shoots travel around. We'll get into some of the stories on driving out west.
Not all of them.
Yeah, not all of them.
Some of them.
Zach, settle down. There's kids watching.
Yeah.
The children. I forget the children.
So
This would be a lot longer podcast if we got into all of it.
yeah, it'd take a few days, but Tank's been around shooting all his life, and he's one of the top shooters, especially in the vet category. You know, he shoots for Kohler, shoots for Federal, so Tank will be a wealth of knowledge, I think.
Yeah, for sure.
On this, and he also works on guns, also. So we're just happy to have you on the show and be at your house here in Florida. It's a little humid, folks. That's why Zach's hat.
We're hot.
Look, it's all sweaty.
He's not sweating from the 100 straight.
No.
Hey, this Trap Talk hat still looks great, though.
Yeah.
See if you get mine.
Get
the
you
sweat
one today.
doesn't show through.
1995 plus 5.
Zach. Here we go.
So Tank, one thing, just to let the listeners know, if they don't know who you are, which I'm sure they do, how'd you get into shooting? What started you, and why are you a lifelong lover of the sport of trap?
Well, when I first started shooting, I was basically hunting and did all that. And I went to this gun club every Wednesday night when they shot league, and I wanted to do it so bad, but I thought you had to be a member of that club. And then one guy just come up to the truck one day and said, "Hey, if you want to shoot, man, come on out and shoot." So I took an 870 out and I broke 50 with it.
Oh, that's a little better than I did.
So, you're kind of hooked from then on,
So right off the bat, first time?
Yeah, it was just kind of like effortless for me,
So was that because of the background in hunting and kind of shooting other stuff that came like that, or what do you think that was?
I don't know. I think it's from shooting pickup truckloads of 22s when I was young. Everything that either lived, breathed, or walked, I was shot at one time or another.
So when you were a kid, you had a 22, and you were shooting it all the time?
Shotguns and 22s, yeah.
Okay, well, and I've heard that from a few other really great shooters. They said that when they were young, they had 22s, and they'd even try to shoot birds flying out of the air with 22s, and I'm like,
that's how we did with kids. We took BB guns and throw up aspirin tablets.
Charcoal briquettes. When Kurt was old enough to throw one, I was shooting at it.
With a 22.
On a 22, yeah.
So that's got to help when you got a shotgun and the clay's a lot bigger than a briquette, right?
Seems like you're cheating when you shoot something this big.
When you got the 30-inch powder.
Now we're gonna see Zach on the news
Exactly
trying
right.
to shoot a 22.
Boeing went down today.
Yeah.
It's okay. So how long ago was the start of your journey?
Oh, I started shooting trap in 1980.
Okay.
I become an official member of the ATA in 81.
Rick, when did you start?
I started in 88. But I knew Tank, because for everybody that doesn't know, Tank's real name is Vanoy.
Yeah.
So, and I was like, Vanoy? And someone like, well, yeah, that's Vanoy. I'm like, no, that's Tank. They're like, no, that's Vanoy. I'm like,
Yeah.
whatever. As a little kid, you're like, whatever.
Vanoy is Vinny with a twist of Hillbonic. I got 10 brothers and 2 sisters.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, big family.
Yeah, I'm the youngest.
So does a lot of your family shoot, or are you pretty much the only one?
I had a brother that shot that's passed now, but basically I'm the only one that ever really shot.
Yep. And his son Kurt shoots, and his daughter-in-law shoots,
And this year,
and his granddaughter.
all 3 of us, me, my son, and my daughter-in-law is on the Indiana State team.
Indiana State team.
Oh, that's great.
That's pretty cool.
Yep.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
That had to feel wonderful, huh?
It did, and as long as they don't beat my average, I'll be okay with that.
Kurt has been on top of the total pole a few times. So
You don't like that, huh?
No, I kind of like it the way it was today. He missed a couple, I didn't. That's why he's in there pouting right now.
So are you a little competitive? Not much.
Oh, we're way competitive, but it's a wonderful deal.
So you've had a very extensive career, and you've won numerous trophies. You won satellite grand trophies. You won numerous grand trophies, state titles in your state. Too many to speak of on the show. I mean, Rick, you could probably.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
he's one of the time when we used to shoot a lot together at Indiana State shoot in Fortville.
Yeah.
And Tank won a lot of the in-state stuff, and I won a lot of the out-of-state stuff. They didn't like our squad too much back then.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun, man. We really ripped the world up there for a long time.
Oh, yeah, we did.
So when you were in the prime of your game, I guess. What
I'm
was
still
pushing?
in the prime of my
Oh,
game.
there you go.
You were being respectful earlier with the mister.
Sometimes I slip.
I still have a 6 in front of my number.
There you go. I like that. So what are you doing to stay at the high level? I mean, is it the competitiveness? Is it
Shoot
training?
a lot.
Is
Mainly it's the people. What we're doing right now is
Yep.
why I'm here. You know, trap shooting has kind of waned in this year versus from when I first started.
Yep.
When we first started, it was a lot of money involved in it, and the motivation was different than it is for me today. Today, I kind of like going out to eat. I break my 100. If I break a 199, I'm okay with that. It's great to see the young people coming up and shooting this. I remember when Ricky's sons were born. Now Ricky's sons shooting with him. That's just, you see that all around you. It's just a wonderful deal.
That's what it's about, honestly. I mean, that's
really
you know, like I said, we used to shoot a lot together, and we're competitive. But it was just like yesterday. I tied for runner-up in the handicap. People are calling me like, "Hey, you're a shoot-off." I was like, "Well, took Tyler to the Yankees Pirates game."
Yeah.
People are like, "What?" And I'm like, sometimes that stuff is a little more important than out there just banging away. You know.
Well, yeah. I mean, and I think it depends where you're at in the career, right? If it was your first shoot off, your first one, and
that's a whole
then
different
you're like,
story.
"Oh, we're missing the Yankees game," but thankfully,
you can't ever miss the Yankees game.
Oh,
Sorry.
I'd miss those things. We go to
You're
A's games, Cardinals games.
What do they do? The Yankees, what do they do? Play baseball?
How many world champions they got? 27, folks.
27.
They did it about 27 years ago.
That's okay.
All right, folks, we got to take a quick second and give a huge shout out to our title sponsor, Craigoff. Me and Ricky both shoot him. We both love him.
Yep, best gun in the industry. I shoot them, I sell them. Nothing better, folks. Get yourself a Craigoff, your scores will increase.
Yeah, I mean, Ricky's got hundreds and hundreds of hundreds with his. I mean, I've got a few hundreds, but I'm always working to get a little bit better, and they definitely help me, that's for sure. So on top of that, we also got to thank Winnig. I'm wearing the shirt today. Love this shirt. If you're down at the Grand, pick one up.
Yeah, Winnig, like I said, Zach, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds with my Winnig stock. You know, get a hold of Bobby, Luke, Bill, get an appointment set up. They will make you a better shooter with that Winnig stock.
Of course, yeah, the Grand's the great place to do it. Give them a call, get on their book. It's worth your time.
Just remember, winners shoot Winnigs.
With that being said,
Let's get back to the show.
But when you shoot with guys like Ricky, we shot with Leo, we shot with a whole bunch of Harlan, we shot with a lot of great shooters that maybe they'll never be duplicated.
We had some squads that
it was unbelievable.
And we just had a good time.
And if you didn't shoot good, you got ridiculed beyond.
Oh
belief.
yeah, you think it's bad now, brother?
No, it's not. It's easy living.
It's easy now.
So, what was that like, standing next to yourself being a great and other greats? I mean, Leo, Ricky, all these other guys. I mean, what was that feeling, and what were you trying to do every day when you went out there? Was it just not be the low man on the squad, or was it
that was exactly right?
What was the thing that was driving
If he was a low man on the squad, you never could match Leo eating roasting ears corn. I mean,
No.
or hot dogs. Leo was going to beat you, and pretty much the same way at Trap. You know, I had a 198 at Las Vegas one time, and Leo broke both hunters.
Oh, that's gonna hurt a little bit. I mean, it still pays, but just not quite as good.
But you know, I don't know, when you have the relationship with people like we've had, you're just as happy for them as you would be yourself.
It's like we talked the other day, with Herbie Lewis. If you don't win, you want your squad to win. Like today, everybody was going along, and boom, Justin missed, and then we got to the next round, and then I missed. You were the only one straight. So we're hoping like, hey, Zach, hang on.
Don't mess this up.
Well, no, it ain't that. It's like just stay in them, and that's the attitude you have. You don't wish ill will on your squad mates, because then you ain't got no business shooting.
Well, that's true.
You know,
That's the squad you want to shoot on.
exactly.
Guys that want to see you win.
The guys
Absolutely.
that want to see you win. If you're there and then they're not doing something stupid, and it keeps everything in timing, because that's huge with them. When you're at the Grand, one time me and Ricky got to shoot off with Kay for the Grand American Handicap Championship.
That's a big deal.
That's a big deal. We had three. There was 399s. We were 3 high. Me and Ricky had 24s. Kay broke the 25.
That was for his final
That was
ring that he needed, though, right?
Yeah.
That was the year that I was tied with him in the overall. And since he won the Grand American Handicap, he wouldn't shoot off the overall. He said, I already won what I needed to win.
And I said, hold on, what do I get?
Jake Idem said the same damn thing. I said, "Where's my?"
Listen, so what's funny is he's like, no, I'm not, and I was like, really? And he said, yeah, I'm not. And I was like, hey, I already won the all around. And he goes, well, then I guess you got 2 rings. Well, then later on, he found out that I got a bunch of shells out of the deal. He said, where's my half? We'd laugh, but it's stuff like that. You wouldn't, that takes a big person to give away a grand ring.
Yeah,
type of stuff. So,
but that's coming from a guy that's won all the rings.
Everything, yeah. I think he's won every satellite grand trophy there's to win.
And I'm at the Grand. I am Mr. Runner-Up at the Grand. I won every runner-up ring at the Grand.
So no rings yet.
No rings yet.
No rings.
Yeah,
but I've
not done yet.
I broke 398s, 397s, 396s, but there's always one bird better.
Hate to hear that.
It happens.
It is
That's
what it
what
is.
brings us back, though.
Exactly right.
You okay? You need to hear.
Yeah, we'll edit that part probably, but I'm sweating real bad.
We will not edit that. Zach's sweating, and it ain't from shooting.
It's from fear of the second 100.
Terrified.
All right, folks, we got to take another quick break and thank some more sponsors. We've got Game Masters. Ricky, you're our guy over there, right?
Yep, I sell every gun you can imagine. We've got a ton of Krieghoffs, every other brand available. So if you guys need something, let us know. We can hook you up with the shoots. We got vendor buildings in Arizona, Ohio, and then Sparta at the Grand American.
Yeah, I do like sucking up that free AC in Sparta, that's for sure. It's a good time. Come by and say hi to us.
That's right.
Also, Shot Tracker. We've had great success with them. Ricky, you've been involved since day one, so
It's like having a coacher on the end of your barrel. It's a great tool, especially for doubles. That's what I really like it for. You can see the transition, moving from the first target to the second target. That's where a lot of people get lost in no man's land, losing that target.
I love that, and I also love the new software update, the stuff that's coming down the pipe. Those guys are constantly innovating. So with that being said,
let's get back to the show.
So Tank, you said you shot with Leo a lot. Were you pretty close with him? Is there any stories that you'd like to share?
Really close with Leo at the end.
Yeah.
I've gotten close to a lot of people. We're sitting on the front porch of a guy by the name of Mike Jordan.
Yep, this is his house.
Was just, I bought this house to try to help him out. It's helped me out. It helped him out. And, he passed. I will share this story. It's a unique story of Mike Jordan. Mike Jordan was really sick, was basically dying. He goes home. We have the federal dinner. We have a cookout. Everybody gets free hot dogs. You know how that goes. So Mike comes. He lives in Illinois. So he comes to the Grand to eat supper with me one last time. So Mike had a Model 42 Winchester that he had custom engraved at Winchester when he worked for Winchester way back when.
Yeah, 50 years ago.
So I always told him, I said, Mike, if you want to sell that gun, I want to buy that gun just because it was yours, And he said, Tank, you're a little too fat to have a gun this nice. And I said, well, Mike, I'm going to aggravate you until I get it. Well, it went on for 30 years. And he said 10 years ago, he said, Tank, when I'm done with that gun, I just might give it to you. So he come to that dinner, and he barely could walk. And we walked out to the truck, and he said, I'm done with it.
Damn.
That's a lot, man.
It is. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
But that's the stuff that this game makes you happen.
he was a great guy. I miss him a lot.
Oh,
He
yeah.
was always there for us, and you know, he's just a genius. You know, he knew more about ammunition than probably anybody I've ever talked to, and you know,
He knew more about ammunition than Kent Sakamoto.
Yeah,
Well,
he built it
that says a
all.
lot.
He created it all the WSM cartridges.
Yep.
Mike developed all that stuff.
I remember when
the
he had-
double A silver bullet we shot today.
The
he developed
original one that he had, we were kids, and I think it was at the Spring Grand. It was one of the satellites, but I know Amerigo gave us nitros when they first came out. We're at the practice trap. Me and Booker tried these, and then MJ had some, and I was like, okay, I put it in. And he's like, well, that's the heavier one. I was like, yeah, I need to go to the dentist now. But he was just, you could sit and talk to him about anything ammo related or anything. He's just a wealth of knowledge.
He was.
You know.
Yeah, there's.
And you would have never known it by talking to him of the legend that he really was.
Oh, yeah.
He's very humble. I mean, he wasn't the kind of guy to be boastful, but he'd
Nope.
always crack, 99 or 100 pretty much every day. He'd go out there, and he was always helpful, and he was always one of those guys that was there for you, and would give you the shirt off his back.
He would.
Yeah.
But as most of the shooters will.
Yeah.
And I think, that's why me and Ricky talked a lot about doing this podcast, is to try to capture some of that, because there's so many people that aren't here anymore, and it's
Yep.
like, man, we never got to do this podcast with Mike. We never got to do
Mike,
it with
Leo, Hoppy,
just
all these guys
all
that-
these
This goes
people.
on and on. I can bring all them guys up. Frank Hoppy told me one time we were shooting right here. Ricky was on the squad,
Yep.
and I'd always have a 198 or 199. He said, "Tank, you need a release trigger." I said, "Frank, I don't need no release trigger." He said, "You need a release trigger." He said, "I'm bringing you one, second hunter. You're already out. You missed one." So he gave me the release trigger. I broke that 100 and 1,300 more.
I guess he knew.
Yeah. Oh,
He-
Frank,
he
let me
knew.
tell you, there wasn't a better instructor than Frank Hoppy. He could, just the little things he could pick out.
He knew.
Oh,
He'd get a little nervous about betting lunch, Frank.
yeah,
would.
he did. That is true, folks. He was very frugal.
Pretty crazy.
Good to be frugal. I like a guy like that.
Yeah, he was a wonderful man.
Yeah.
A lot of them.
All right, guys, we got to take another quick break and thank some more sponsors. We got to say big thank you to White Flyer, America's best targets. You make them, we break them, right, Rick?
That's right. We got the new Eco flyer that we helped design, myself and Sean Hawley. That's out now, available out of the Georgia factory. That's an awesome target. Look for that. Going to be available hopefully everywhere by 2025. But yeah, they are best target in the industry.
I'm looking forward to the Blue-Gray Shootout this year at the Grand, too. That's going to be a fun event.
Yeah, you're in that too this year, aren't you, Zach?
We both are, aren't we?
Yeah, well, yeah, I'm in it. I didn't know if you made it or not.
See, yeah, that's okay. I skated right in there. Don't you worry. But, we got another sponsor we got to thank.
Yep.
Shotguns West, the Pulas, baby. Check out these wings. Ricky don't got these. He ain't that stylish.
Oh, folks, listen. Zach tries to wear these driving down the road, doing podcasts. It's okay. We still love
Hey,
it. but-
when you look good, you don't have to apologize. Remember that. Not only can you hit more targets, but you can look good doing it. Give Ryan a call.
That's right.
With that being said,
Let's get back to the show.
Leo, same way. I got real close with Leo. We had some ice cream eating contest in the beginning.
Did you beat him?
No, you ain't gonna ever beat
You ain't
Leo.
never going to out
Can't out-eat him.
The only one that could get close to out-eating Big L would have been Martin Wilbur back in the day.
Oh yeah.
I remember when both of them got kicked out of a Holiday Inn seafood buffet. They did.
That's impressive when the Holiday Inn's kicking
They
you out.
did. The Holiday Inn in Cedar Falls had a
Usually it's not one of those high-end establishments. where
No, but they had a massive buffet, and they finally asked them after 4 hours.
So we'll
"You guys
pay you to
gotta-
leave."
That's right. You guys should go.
they
Folks.
get out of here with the shrimp can't handle it.
Exactly.
So I want to get back to your shooting, and I appreciate you sharing those stories. But for you, let's get into the fundamentals. What are you doing? Are you very similar to my technique and Ricky's technique, where you're low
Probably
and
more
driving
like
it up?
Ricky. You emulate better shooters. Me and Ricky shoot a lot alike. You
Yep.
know, we're on the house every time. That works all over the world.
Yes.
I mean, I'm not a fan of holding up here. If you hold a high gun here, you'll never see the target sometimes because they like to throw them low here, or the wind or whatever. But what better position to hold your gun than on top of the house, because that's where the bird's going to come from.
So you're always attacking from the back. The target comes
Always.
out, you see it, singles, doubles, handicap, it's above your gun. You're getting a good lock on it with your eye, and then you're...
If I'm intelligent enough that day to let that target get above my gun, I'll break it.
So what are the mistakes that happen that cause you to miss? Is it coming out with the target, or what are the things that you see
you're
that are
sitting
common?
there and you're getting in the rhythm of everything, and you get just a tick slow pull. That happens a lot in Florida. We're here in Florida. It happens a lot, and you make that little bit of a move, and that target's a little bit late, and you're above it. What do? You stop the gun, raise your head. So what I do is I even hold a lower gun.
So you really want to make sure that by the time whatever's happening, calling pull, slow, late, whatever, that the target's still up above your gun.
Correct.
And if it's up above your gun, you have a chance to attack at it versus...
You get one move. You get one move. When that target comes out, if it gets above your gun, then you make your shot. It's effortless.
That's right.
Yeah, that's a vision thing, right? Or because
it is.
I mean, if you get that gun up above the rock and you can't see now you're gonna kind of do this deal and go from there.
Yeah, everybody goes. A lot of people say they look below the gun. Well, I've tried that on practice trap before, and when I see that bird under the gun, I go
down to it.
Shoot it. Yeah.
And it's
because
already
you do
passing
know
you.
if you miss a whole bunch of them birds, they'll gather up and flatten the truck tires on your truck that night.
Well, I never missed that many, I guess.
I have one flat one time.
So point of impact wise, are you pretty high or are you pretty flat?
I'm
What's
60%.
that?
60-40.
So you really move the gun.
Oh, that's
He drives through. Same thing, just like I do.
high birds. I just drive them, shoot a little more aggressive.
Go up to them.
So for you, when you are dealing with, because I think that's a good moment for the shooters to pay attention, or the listeners to pay attention.
Yeah.
On really high birds, like people say, well, what do you do when they're really high or they're really low or whatever? Do you physically see lead, or do you feel yourself pushing harder, or what are you doing when you know the targets are really high with that flatter gun?
It's the same way I do it. The same way you would catch a baseball. I mean, I 100% instinctive. I got both eyes open. I never look at the gun. I'm looking at where I want to break that bird.
Okay.
And then if that's a high bird, then I might move the gun up just a little bit, but I always want the gun to come above my gun before I make the move.
I see. So a little bit above the house if they're extremely high.
Yeah.
But we're talking a couple feet. Nothing. You're not hanging out here up in the clouds or anything like that. I mean,
Gun moving on the 27, that much from the 27 is about 30 yards, about 30 feet out there. So you don't have to move it very much. On the singles, it's a little bit different animal. You get a lot
Different
more gun
angles.
movement.
All right, Trap Talk listeners, let's take a couple seconds and thank a couple more sponsors. First of all, Remington's been with us since day one. I've been shooting these shells since 2007. I shoot the Nitro 27 from the 27-yard line, ounce and eighth, 7.5, and STS ounce and eighth, eighths for singles and doubles. They've worked great for me, as they do a lot of top shooters all around the country. Give them a try. Don't forget the gun club line when you're practicing and you're wanting to save a little bit of money.
We'd also like to thank another sponsor, Outlaw Engineering. Randy Freston, R2. I've known Randy since 1988. They do engineering, surveying, drafting, GIS, civil, structural, land development, wetland permitting. They do it all.
And they're friends of trap shooters. I mean, they're a trap shooting family. They've been in the ATA forever. His dad's been involved. They're involved. They're a beautiful family. They're great people. And we just love that they listen to the show, and we love that they support Trap Talk.
Yeah, his dad was past president in 1989. So I really want to thank those guys for the support. I really appreciate it here at Trap
With
Talk.
that being said,
Let's get back to the show.
So are you shooting pretty tight chokes, pretty loose chokes?
Open. I shoot a modified on the singles,
Okay.
and a 730, 733 thousandths on the handicap, which is a full.
So full. And then doubles?
Doubles, modified, improved, modified.
It's about 20-30.
That's
20,
about
30.
right. Yeah.
And then as far as shells go, are you shooting the light shells, heavy shells? Do you
Light shell
mix
on the
them?
first shot, handicap on the second on doubles. 3-dram through an open choke on the singles.
Okay, so you do shoot a 3-dram.
Yeah.
That's what Bartholow does, isn't it?
Yep.
I think he is it Foster or Matt that shoots a 3-dram on singles? I know one of them does.
My theory on the 3-dram, the recoil doesn't bother me. I shoot a recoil stock.
Okay.
The recoil doesn't bother me. The energy that extra 3-dram gives you over the light load. The light load, your patterns are like this. With a 3-dram, it's like this, and it's got enough energy on the peripheral pattern to break that target.
So, explain that to me. Why would the pattern be bigger with a 1,200 feet per second shell versus 1145?
Well, the smaller amount of powder in the shell, the tighter the pattern's going to be.
Okay.
Okay, it's just really that simple.
The more powder, The more
More
pressure,
powder, yeah.
the more it's going to expand because it's coming against the wind with more energy. It's going to flatten
and
out.
plus he's shooting a mod choke.
You open the choke up, you get a really, but it's dense. There's no hole
And
in
it's
it.
got knockdown power because of the speed. Now, are you shooting 7.5s then, or are you shooting
Always
eights?
7.5.
So you like 7.5s all shots?
I would shoot 6s if they let me.
And
Well, you could go over to England.
now, you could correct me. Either of you could correct me, but I always thought that Leo said that he liked the 7.5s better in singles himself. Is that true, or do you?
He always shot
I-
7.5. He'd shoot 8s.
Yeah.
I mean, on a day like
would.
today, 8s are fine. But if it's a
Yeah.
little bit cold or a little bit windy, a big rock carries better than a little rock, in my opinion.
I've always liked the 8s through my full choke, but
Yeah, I mean you're so tight. I mean, and that's. I mean, I am too, right? And if you're funneling, but if guys are shooting modifieds and they are opening up, I could see where that 7.5, that energy, that peripheral pattern might make sense. But
yeah, I shoot the 8s, and you get 63 more BBs in it, so
More soldiers.
more soldiers in the pattern there, Zach.
The trick to trap shooting is doing the same thing every time, and
And
getting
as
your
long
body,
as everything up here is
getting your
good.
body to do what your mind wants it to do. Therefore, that's why old guys shoot release triggers. You got to trick yourself into doing it. Otherwise, you can't do it.
how many years with the release now?
It's been probably 10 or 12 years.
I'm gonna say, I think it's been about 14 years, because Frank's been gone about 12 years, and it's been about 2 years, I think, since then.
Yeah.
So he shot a release a long time.
Oh, it's,
So right when you picked it up, it was just instant transition.
well,
to
it was
better
really
score?
easy on the singles. I had to work with it a little bit in the handicap. And the doubles, I shot a release pull for a while.
Yep.
Until one day at a shoot off, I just couldn't do it no more. I broke 10 out of 20, but I just never did fire the second. I just couldn't do it.
And you said it's time to change.
So I went
roll.
over and talked to Ray Stafford, and I said, Ray, I'm having trouble with the release pull. And he said, I told you that when you started. So he said, here's what you need to do. Take a case of shells, go to the practice trap, or go to the shooting board or somewhere where you can shoot, and shoot that whole case in the ground. Set, boom, set, boom, set, boom, set, boom. Shoot the whole 250. But you said you'll never be able to shoot a pull trigger ever again, and he's right.
Once you do it, it's over.
Once you do it, your mind just froze to that, and now it's just second nature to me.
Yep.
Hey, Trop Talk listeners, let's take a quick second to thank a couple more amazing sponsors. SOS Clays Shoot Management. They're doing a fantastic job. I love the app. I love being able to see everything on my phone instantaneously. It's freaking awesome. Rick, what do you think?
Yeah, Greg Pink and his group over there. I mean, they've got majority of the satellite grands, majority of the state shoots. I think it's 40 plus state shoots they're doing. But the app, honestly, we were doing a little beta testing with that at the Spring Grand. It's awesome. You can see your squad if they paid. You know, you can see your options, your payouts. The whole works at your fingertips. Great deal. They're just
Ricky
killing
knew how
it
much
over there.
money he made before he even got off the line. He was like, hey, I'm buying lunch. I'm like, yeah, good job. We're good to go.
That's
We
right.
also got gun and trophy insurance. I mean, they're the best in the business. I know they're great price. Ricky, you're familiar with them, right?
Yeah, Cole and Larry Cushman been long-time supporters of myself, and I've been a supporter of them, and, you know, especially with my college team. You know, we require insurance. It's so fast and easy to sign up and get your insurance in literally 10 minutes. You can have your guns insured, and they're just great. They're great to deal with. Like I said, you can do your trophies also, you know, your wildlife animals and that such, and your guns. It's just a great
It's
product.
always good when you're
Great
traveling
product.
around to have that peace of mind and know that you don't have to worry about losing your stuff forever. And these are expensive things, especially when you got those Craig offs. You got to keep them insured. So,
Oh, exactly.
with that being said,
let's get back to the show.
So do you have any advice for people that might be needing to go to a release or considering it?
Don't do it until you have to,
That's good advice.
because there's no other way to go.
Alternative.
That's the last resort, pretty much.
There is a couple things. You can put your underwear on backwards, and sometimes you won't flinch.
It's not proven though. It's not a proven technique.
not proven,
Zach,
no.
that just
No.
went through Zach's head, and he went.
That won't be
wonder if I can try
in the
that.
fundamental book, but
Not. So for you, you're bringing up fundamentals. Are there any fundamental things that you really focus on working on? Or are there things that you believe are really important?
Just trying to keep my health at my age, just trying to keep myself healthy to where I can, the stamina to do a 300 bird day.
Yep.
I mean, when you're grinding them targets out at the Grand, 300 birds a day is a lot when you're 66 years old. Now, and back in the day when we first started shooting, we could have shot 400 or 500
Oh, yeah.
birds. But, you know, it takes its toll on them. And if you don't preserve yourself a little bit, me and Leo used to talk about it all the time. So Leo wouldn't shoot the singles at the Grand in the preliminary to save himself for the Grand.
He just shot handicap doubles every day. I
Handicap
remember
doubles,
that.
that's it.
Handicap doubles the first week, and then
And that's what I used to do too. You shame me into shooting. Remember? You shamed me in a few years ago?
I
Then,
did.
and then someone goes, "Why'd you shame me, man?"
I should have left him alone. But you know what? It's good for you. And we're walking. We're getting healthier. We're trying to. It's important. I think you look at the great shooters now. I mean, even like Keith Ditto. I mean, he's always walking and
He
moving
don't
and-
walk, he runs. Keith runs like 4 miles every day.
Yeah.
And in between events.
Yeah,
But that's got to be good for your stamina mentally and physically. I mean, it can't hurt anything. And
No.
no, if you can do it, but it will wear your knees out.
That's right.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, you're going to do that, you need to do it at your age, Zach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Walking.
big equipment needs a lot of fuel.
Keep the tanks rolling.
Keep
Yeah.
the tank full.
Yeah, tank takes a lot. I've lost since Leo's death, I've lost about 90 pounds. And that's all been planned, Leo was a big man.
Yeah.
He was 6'10", I think, 9 or 10.
Wow.
And at his heaviest weight was probably over 500 pounds.
Yeah, that's a lot of toll on the body.
That's a lot of root beer and ice cream.
I do like
I was there for a few of them.
You got to think
Yeah.
residuals.
I traveled with Leo for several years.
He's
so-
probably the most wittiest guy I've ever met in my
Oh.
life. I mean, he was probably the sharpest guy. Unbelievable. He was unbelievable.
All right, folks, let's take a quick second and thank some brand new incoming sponsors of the show. These are personal friends of mine, fellow clay shooters, and lovers of the outdoors, Rick and Carla Burke at 73 Pointers Ranch. Rick, tell them what we're doing.
Well, we're doing a giveaway at the Grand American. So they've graciously donated a one-person hunt for, I think it's, 18 quail or 12 chucker or 8 pheasants. Your choice, guide and dog. We've got dinner, overnight, lodging, breakfast. So, yeah, I think it's going to be a great giveaway.
It's a great thing. It's valued at like $1,500. You can obviously bring a guest if you'd like, but it's about an hour out of St. Louis Airport. And if you're lucky, maybe me and Rick will go out there with you and do some bird hunting, because this is an awesome place. It's a great time. And if you're local to this area, it's not that far out of the city. So you can be in the office and then be hunting in the afternoon. So they're great, great people, and they love this show. So we really, really appreciate the love and support.
Yeah, we'd like to thank Rick and Carla. We really appreciate that.
Also, we've got Mid-State Precious Metals, Ron Prescott. He's a great guy for all your gold and silver needs. Ricky, tell them about our friend.
Yeah, Ron, he graciously donated a 10-ounce silver bar to our live in-person podcast in Tucson. And, he has everything. I bought a bunch of silver from him. We got our silver and gold for the fun day at the Nevada State Shoot on Monday this year. John got all the silver and gold for the Nevada State Shoot. So look him up for your silver and gold needs. He'll give you the best price out there.
He really is, and he's a friend of the Trapshooters. I mean, he's looking to get gold and silver to these gun clubs for their shoots at the lowest price across the country. He's doing them a service and helping grow the sport. So, thank you so much for that, Ron.
Yeah, thank you, Ron. We appreciate
With
it.
that being said,
Let's get to the show.
So Tank, with your long career, is there any goals that you have now or things that you focus on when you start the year that keep it interesting? I know you said it's the people, but...
Well, my family's shooting more. I'm pretty much fully retired. I've got a lot of businesses, but we're selling them off. We just started a gun. We got an FFL, my son does. It's competition shotguns.
Okay.
We're a full-blown Kohler dealer.
Okay.
We service the gun. Kurt makes stocks. He's a stock maker.
Okay.
So that's going to be our whole thrust is going to come into this game.
So you're diving in even deeper at this stage. You've been doing it your whole life, and now you're going all the way in and traveling a lot.
He's going to be doing it. We're going to work on his scores and his ability, and I'm just going to have fun. And I'm going to ride it as long as God will provide me with the scores I need to be on the All-American team.
That's a good goal.
Absolutely.
I love to hear that.
Yeah.
Is there any favorite club that you like going to nowadays, or any favorite shoots in the country that you like to recommend?
I like all the clubs where my friends are at, and that's pretty much every club in America.
Yeah.
Me and Ricky's been. We went to Washington.
Yeah. That's the story. Tank flew into Omaha. I picked him up, and we drove to Spokane, Washington. And we had my yellow Amarillo edition
Through
truck.
the Wasatch Mountains.
We went to Cheyenne, North Casper, up through into Montana, across Idaho, and we saw every animal known to man in North America,
That's fact.
except for any gators.
And we couldn't drive on the roads because there were so many
Rabbits.
dead rabbits on the road. For whatever reason, we never did figure it out. But we're talking thousands of them.
Yeah. We
Thousands
come up,
of them.
and
What
all
are
of a
they killing
sudden,
them?
well, that's what it was, is so it got really cold,
And the road was
and the
stay
road
warm.
was still warm.
Yeah.
From the sunlight that day, asphalt.
So they went
They
to, it
went
for
to
heat.
the road.
They got hit.
And the semis, I mean, it was like stuff was flying up front. We were like, what the heck is going on? And it was all rabbits.
It was rabbits. I mean, thousands of them for 25 or 30 miles.
I was like,
It's
what
crazy.
the heck? So and we would stop and we on the trip it was like, okay, you buy this fuel, next trip you buy this fuel. So like for 4 tanks in a row, I'd stop, fill up. It was like, I don't know, back then what was it, like $1.70 or something. When it was Tank's turn, it was like $2.05. And he's like, this is kind of crap here.
That
And
was,
we
I,
didn't have
couldn't eat, I couldn't eat on that tank full.
we didn't have no gas and diesel apps back then, So and it happened like 3 times in a row. And I was like, man, this is kind of messed up here. It was
Not
funny.
messed up for you.
No, but it was
It
funny.
worked out.
But we pulled in. I never forget this. Remember, Nora told us about the gun club in Spokane and the trap house. Do you ever shoot Spokane?
Yes.
Okay. The trap houses are extra wide.
Big
So
size.
the middle is like a lime green, and then the outside is almost like the green of your shirt.
To emulate a smaller
To
trap house.
emulate small. But that was their storage, okay? So we pulled in there. It was like 8, 9 o'clock at night, and we drove right to the gun club. Didn't even go to the hotel yet. Pulled in. I hit the brights, and we were like, what the heck? We walked out there, we were like,
These are not trap houses. These are trap condos.
yeah.
They're huge.
So we
They are.
shot the Western Grand that year, and it was me and Bill Martin, Craig Hart, Petey or Tank, and then I think Petey was on 5. Or no, you were on 5, and Petey was on 4. Whatever, but that was 5. We had a hoot of a time. We cook out at night, eat, me and Tank go back to the hotel, sleep, come back. It was just the same thing over and over till we get to the singles championship. And we're going along and shooting, and everybody's just not happy. Petey, no, you had some issue. Tank says, I'm done with this place. He says, the gun was broke, whatever he walked. Bill Martin goes, I better go make sure
I'm
he's
leaving
okay.
too.
I'm leaving too. So he leaves. So we had 3-man squad. We blew through the second 100, and lapped. Well, then we go to shoot. Was it the doubles or the handicap? No, it was the handicap.
Yeah.
When the targets keep flying out.
Yeah.
And this lady, we walk over there like, ma'am, and she's still writing zeros.
Yeah, she was still writing them. Every time we would talk, it'd throw a target, and
Yeah.
she'd write a 0. And she said, well, they told me if it went out and you didn't shoot at it, it's a loss.
Yeah.
We had losses all
We
over.
had the whole 2 posts where the losses, and we're like, no.
No. Yeah, that had to be
So
pain to
it
fix.
was quite an interesting trip.
It was
We
pretty
had a
nuts.
blast. I mean,
But the last day, I said, I don't know that I'm going to shoot. And they said, you're going to shoot. And I said, well, if I'm shooting, I'm going to win.
You
And
won
I
the
did
doubles.
win the doubles.
Yep. He won the doubles championship out there.
And,
Against,
and Ricky wouldn't talk to me for at least 2 hours.
oh, whatever.
Hey, he don't like when he loses those doubles. He's pretty good at that.
I know, it's pretty rare when you beat him. One time I tied him with 397 in Ohio State, and that's one of my most prized trophies. I got it hanging up where I could see it every day.
That was in Vandalia.
No, it wasn't Vandalia.
Yeah, it was Vandalia days when the Ohio State was in Vandalia taking that
We both
time.
had
They had that.
397s on the same
397s, yep.
squad.
So you won the shoot off?
Yep.
No,
No.
I won it with a flip.
He won it with a flip.
The
Yeah,
flip
we
off?
just flipped.
Yeah, so I
Sometimes
used
that's
old
more
age
fun.
and treachery to beat him.
Did you have a 2-headed coin?
Don't say that.
I know he had
But
something.
I would have used it if I'd have had to.
I would have used them.
Well, folks, you got to win somewhere. I
You
guess.
gotta go where you gotta go.
All right, Trap Talk listeners, got to take a few more seconds for some shameless plugs. This time, we're plugging Trap Talk. We got the hats on.
right.
Ricky, why are you wearing the same hat as me? It's going all gray. We got hats. We still got some available, right, Rick?
Yeah, we got multiple hats available. We got a big order of hats coming out too. You can get them on the website. John will put the link either up here or down here. Not sure. That's
Somewhere.
up to John. So I gave him both.
Yeah, you never know where he's going to put them. That being said, we love you guys wearing the hats at Trap Shoots. It really shows the support. It shows the love. Take pictures. Tag us on Instagram. Tag us on Facebook. Send us messages of you guys wearing the hats. Wear them proud. And we got a big reveal coming for the Grand. I think you guys are really going to like it. It's going to be awesome. We're going to have a place for you to maybe get some merchandise. So more details to come. With that being said,
let's get back to the show.
Yeah.
Well, Tank, is there anything else you'd like to share? Anyone you'd like to thank before we get out of here? Tank?
Just,
'Cause I know we got
just-
another 100 shoot.
The trap community in general is wonderful. I mean, it's just a wonderful game. It's changed. It's not to my liking, but everything changes. I'm not the same guy at 66 that I was at 36.
That's
I
true.
just wish I could have got started a little earlier in life, but it's been really good to me. I've made some unbelievable friends. Yeah, what can I say? It's a wonderful game if you let it be that way.
That's right.
But the more positive you can be about it, the better it'll serve you.
Any good advice for new shooters that are just starting?
Make a lot of money.
Make a lot of money.
That is true,
That's
folks.
good advice. If you have
That is
money,
true.
then you can come shoot more.
How to make $1 million shooting trap?
Yeah.
Start with 2.
Start with 2.
You'll be smiling after you're done, though.
This is a fact. Yeah.
Well, Rick, is there anything we're missing here
No,
today?
I think we're good. Honestly, it's a good episode. Like I said, I'd like to thank Tank for being on here.
Not a problem. I love
We've
it,
known
man.
each other a long time, and it's been a blast. I mean, this is what, like you said, this is what shooting is about.
We're gonna definitely have to have you on again after you get that ring. So I know you're gonna knock that bucket list
even
out.
if I have to buy one, I'll get it.
Thanks, Tank.
Thanks,
Good
Tank.
luck on the back 100.
See you guys. You too.
And the Trap Talk podcast is brought to you in part by
RM Shooting Clinics. Have Ricky take your game to the next level. If you want to shoot hundreds of hundreds, give Ricky a call today. Zach Nannini Financial. We believe in putting people first.